Well, 3rd to 9th September marks Migraine Awareness Week. South Africa is hosting 2 international studies into the causes of migraine headaches. The first study will focus on mapping the migraine code, which involves finding the causes of pain of migraines. The second study will aid in the development of what researchers in this program are calling a new breed of pharmaceuticals. We are now joined by Dr. Elliot Shevel. He is Medical Director at the Headache Clinic. Very good morning to you, Dr. Shevel.
Good morning.
We were talking yesterday and I was asking you if it has been yet found out what causes migraines.
Migraine has many causes. It's a very complex illness. But recently we've been able to determine for certain that part of the problem comes from the arteries on the outside of the skull. In other words, the branches of the external carotid artery. And now we're focusing on the studies to determine exactly what chemical changes happen in these arteries and whether or not one can determine some focus that one can concentrate on to develop perhaps some medication that will work on this particular area.
How serious do migraines get? Because it does sound, when you start talking about arteries, it does sound a bit serious.
No, migraines are very serious. Some people have the most debilitating effects. Their lives are ruined. Their quality of life is really very bad. So we do a quality of life test which tells people exactly how badly they're affected, although they know already, but this puts a number to it. That's available on our website at the Headache Clinic.
Now, how do people tell the difference if you've just got a mere headache and if you've got a migraine?
Really the difference is that the migraine is a very severe headache, and it's usually accompanied by nausea and vomiting and light sensitivity, sound sensitivity, a number of different things together.
Now, I was reading up on this a little bit, and it seems to me that women seem to be affected more than men are. Why is that?
Well, little boys and little girls have the same number of migraines. As soon as women reach puberty and their hormone cycles start, that is an additional trigger, the fluctuations in the hormone levels. And most women with this problem have normal hormones. It's just that their body reacts differently to the normal hormone fluctuations than other people's.
So how will these studies help you in helping people that are affected with migraines?
Well, first of all, this, the realization and the proof really that pain of migraine, part of it comes from the arteries, means that we're able to treat those arteries by surgery at the moment. And secondly, as I mentioned, one of the studies that we're doing with the Italian group, that's also being funded by the Italian and South African governments, is that they are doing a chemical analysis of the arterial tissues during migraine. And from that, one might be able to determine some way of developing a medication that pinpoints it.
Now, you have spoken about surgery. What other options are available to people that suffer from migraines?
Well, the arterial component is not the only one. There are many different structures that can cause migraine. For instance, the muscles of the head and neck are a very important cause if there's tension. That's why stress is one of the most important causes. So we treat the muscle tension. But any of the structures of the head and neck can contribute to this input into the brain of impulses, which sets off this, triggers off this reaction.
Now, South Africa's Headache Clinic is said to be the largest in terms of facilities in the world. Now, when we look at how many people suffer from migraines in South Africa, do we have a huge number of people that do suffer from this?
The numbers are the same as in any country in the world. 18% of women suffer from migraine, 6% of men. So you're looking at about 12% of the population. And of those, quite a large number suffer very badly. About 5% of the population suffer from what we call chronic daily headache, which is a headache almost every day, and which sometimes becomes very, very bad, and it affects their lives.
So what is the first thing that people should do? Because some people may just put it off and think, well, it's probably I'm just stressed at work, or I'm just having problems and it's going to go away. But how important is it for them to get help very quickly and to get it diagnosed, that it's treated properly?
Well, first of all, one has to have a proper neurological examination if you have headaches, to eliminate the possibility of some dangerous problem. Fortunately, most people don't have anything like that, but it has to be done. And then one has to be assessed by a team of a multidisciplinary team, people looking at it from different angles, because one specialist would look at it one structure, so another specialist would look at something else. But there are all these different inputs that one has to have a multidisciplinary team.
How long do you expect the research to take?
It will be ongoing. The grant from the South African and Italian governments is for 3 years, but I imagine it will probably take longer. It's a very complex thing, but we're getting there.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Dr. Shevel, and he's Medical Director at the Headache Clinic. And the Headache Clinic's number there is 0861 678 911. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.